Good evening. You're watching Dispatch, the weekly show designed to keep you on track as you build and operate your layout. I'm Roy Smith, your dispatcher. Coming up on tonight's show, your layout photos, the question of the week, your comments, and a big shout out. I'd like to thank you for joining me tonight, whether you're here in the studio audience or out there somewhere in cyberspace. It's always fun when model railroad friends get together. In a moment, we'll start by looking at your layout photos. First, though, I want to show you this aerial photo of the Red Caboose Motel at Strasburg, Pennsylvania. I know that many of you will be staying here during the second annual get-together of model railroaders and YouTube video creators coming up next year on May 16th and 17th, 2020. My wife and I visited Strasburg this past June, and I can tell you that it's a great place to hold the next get-together. Here the red circle shows you where the Strasburg Railroad, the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania, and the Choo Choo Barn are located. And just beyond is the quaint little town of Strasburg. If you're planning to go or thinking about going, I encourage you to make your hotel reservations as soon as you can, especially if you want to stay at the Red Caboose Motel. I hope you're planning to go. It's going to be tons of fun. I also want to mention that my calling cards arrived in the mail yesterday. I am pleased with the way they turned out. Here's what they look like close up. Okay then, your layout photos. Each week I invite you to post photos of your layout in a Facebook group called the N-Scale Union Pacific Evanston Subdivision Group. And that's what many of you do. Then I bring your photos over here to Dispatch to share with everyone during the show. So once again, I have a bunch of layout photos to show you, and here they are. Now, when Dispatch ends tonight, be sure to go over to the Facebook group, join the group, and post a photo of your layout there. It doesn't matter what scale you model in. I will put a link down below in the description to this video that will take you to the Facebook group. When you see this photo of Echo Canyon on my layout, you will know you're at the right place. Next up, the question of the week. Jason Sharp suggested the question for this week. His question is, do you run more than one railroad on your layout? And if so, how do you explain it? Well, of course, it's your railroad and you can run whatever you want to on it without having to explain it. But many of us like to explain what's happening on our layouts. Here's how you responded to Jason's question. 1. Some of you run only one railroad. No explanation is required. 2. Many of you said that your layout is fictional, but even though it is fictional, a surprising number of you have created a detailed history to explain why various railroads appear on your fictional layouts. For example, you said that mergers which occurred on real railroads never occurred on your layouts. Or you added fictional railroads running through areas where real railroads run. 3. Many of you said you are modeling an area through which multiple real railroads run. In fact, this was the most frequent explanation that you gave. 4. Others described the era for their layouts as a time of mergers or consolidations, and fallen flags have not yet been repainted. In the real world, the Union Pacific maintains a fleet of heritage units from railroads that were absorbed into the UP. A number of you said that interchanges where 2 or more railroads come together are located on your layout. Finally, 6. A number of you said that foreign power can be seen on your layouts, such as run-throughs or other railroads having trackage rights on your layouts. In my case, I modeled the Union Pacific, but locomotives from other railroads can, and sometimes do, show up on my layout for this last reason, typically running in consist with UP diesels. These can include BNSF and KCS locomotives, or even Canadian Pacific and Norfolk Southern units. Many of you enjoy explaining why things are happening the way they are on your layout. It's a form of storytelling, and it's a lot of fun. But remember, you are never required to explain why multiple railroads can be seen on your layout because, as they say, it's your railroad and you can run whatever you want to on it. Jason, thanks for suggesting this question. Now, if you have a question that you'd like to suggest for the question of the week here on Dispatch, just mention it in the comments down below. And now the question for the coming week. Gary Wise suggested the question for the coming week. The question that Gary has suggested is, do you have a signaling system on your layout? And do you have any recommendations for setting up a layout signal system? Here are a couple of things to think about when responding to Gary's question. If you have a signaling system on your layout, has it added to the realism of your operations? What do you need to do to make a signal system work like real railroad signals? Do signaling systems have to be complicated to set up? What kinds of hardware and software do you use to operate your signals? And if you don't have a signaling system, would you like to add one to your layout? I want you to post your responses to Gary's question in the comments down below. Then I will share your responses in Dispatch next week. Be sure to watch next week's show to see the answers to this question. Remember, the question for the coming week is, do you have a signaling system on your layout? And do you have any recommendations for setting up a layout signal system? And now it's time for your comments. This past Saturday, I uploaded a video called Setting Up for Speed Matching. This was the second in a series of 3 videos about speed matching. In this video, I showed how I get ready to speed match my diesel locomotives. I explained that I want to be able to run my locomotives in multiple unit consists, and in order to do that, I need to speed match them so that they run smoothly together. I described how I tried and failed to speed match my locomotives in the past, and what I will be doing differently this time. Let's take a look at a clip from the video. Today I'm going to set up to speed match my diesel locomotives. That's coming right up. Hi, I'm Roy Smith. I've speed matched my diesels before, but it took a lot of time and I wasn't happy with the results. So why am I going to do it again? Because I want to be able to run my locomotives in multiple unit consists at the head of my trains, such as you see here. And I want the locomotives to run smoothly together in consists. Will I succeed this time? I don't know, but I'm certainly going to try. I want my speed matching to be quick, simple, and most importantly, successful this time. That's why I'm going to make some changes in the way I do it. I received a ton of comments from you in response to this video. Here's what a few of you had to say. Jack Ollimark wrote, "Looking forward to see how you do it. Hope it's a lot simpler than others." Thanks, Jack. It should be a lot simpler than the methods I tried in the past. And hopefully, a lot more successful too. John Grady wrote, "Professor Roy, what a great educational video. I felt I was back in university attending MRR 101. Wish there was such a class. Thanks for the lesson, and I am looking forward to seeing how you actually speed match the Roy way. Really appreciate your videos." Me too, John. I wish there was such a real model railroad university. I would want to get a degree in model railroading from it. Thanks for coming along, my friend. And Tim BBQ wrote, "I think you just put out a cliffhanger. I want to click the next episode right now to see how the speed matching effort progresses. Nice explanation of the controller functions and getting us up for next week. Keep up the good work." Thanks, Tim. I just hope this method of speed matching works. If it doesn't, I will be in big trouble. I want to thank those of you who inspired me to do my speed matching using a circle of track, including Eric Hall of imrro.com, John Abaticola of TSG Multimedia, and others. Thanks for helping me learn that there is a better way to do speed matching. I also want to thank all of you who responded to the video with your comments. Posting your comments is a great way to share the hobby. Now, if you still haven't seen the video setting up for speed matching, I will put a link to it down below. Be sure to watch it after dispatch ends tonight. Also, be sure to come back here for this Saturday morning's layout update when I will be doing the actual speed matching. If it turns out well, then I can head up and run some trains with multiple unit consists, just like real trains do. And if it doesn't turn out well, then I owe all of you a refund. And now it's time for tonight's big shout out. And tonight's big shout out goes to Kevin Burton and his KB Rail layout. Kevin's layout is a division of the Pennsylvania Railroad. It fills a room measuring 26 feet by just a bit over 12 feet. It features a helix connecting the lower and upper levels of the layout. Kevin uses JMRI and a car card system to direct the train traffic on his layout. The layout is powered by NCE DCC connected to JMRI. All right, let's go over and take a look at a couple of clips from Kevin's most recent layout update.
Railroad friends. I'm going to do a quick little update. You can see that the helix is completed construction wise. The track only goes to there right now. I got to continue it around. A couple years ago when I was getting ready to build this layout, there was a man selling his layout in Pittsburgh and I bought it. Code 100 track, I use code 83, but the helix is the track from that layout. Come around the corner up here. This is going to be that small yard I mentioned before. And that is kind of where the railroad stops on the second deck for right now. I do have to put a reverse loop on, come around here. As you can see, the middle island, it is complete. all the tracks in. Not much has happened in the yard. These are the storage tracks underneath. Well, folks, that's it. Give you a big wide angle view here of the layout room. Progress is going. I guess I am ready to start doing some scenery and some ballasting. Well, we'll see you next time. Maybe by then we'll have some of the scenery done. Thank you. Take care.
Okay, you've seen some clips from Kevin's recent layout update right here on Dispatch. So be sure to go over to Kevin's channel to see the rest of the video and other videos that he has posted there. Don't forget to subscribe while you're over there and tell Kevin that Roy Smith sent you. I will put a link down below that will take you to his channel. And Kevin, if you're out there somewhere watching this, I hope you're planning to go to the big get-together in Strasbourg next May, because I'd love to meet you there. And also, I'd love to visit the Clinton Central Model Railroad Club, which I know you are a member of. Well, that just about concludes tonight's show. But I do want to remind you to come back here every Tuesday night for Dispatch, in which I get to interact with you, and every Saturday morning for my layout updates. Also, be sure to subscribe if you haven't done it yet, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes on this channel. And don't forget to respond to the question for the coming week. A big thank you to all who joined me tonight, both here in the studio audience and all of you out there on YouTube. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you. Until next time then, happy railroading. I'm Roy Smith, and I will see you again very soon.